Today we have the privilege to be here at Mr. Randolph Jobe's residence. It's a great honor to be here to interview none other than the true champion of Trinidad and Tobago until he is the truth. And firstly, I'd like to congratulate you on that 8 consecutive years that you have been the unanimous champion of URPC Pigeon Club. I've known you to be a fancier that flown in Port of Spain Fleet Flyers as well. You have flown also in Central Pigeon Club. You have always participated in numerous races in like auction and special bands, of which you were very successful at.
Yes.
Right, so we want to take this moment to show the world who is Randolph Jobe. And on display is a few of your many achievements. So Mr. Randolph, I'll firstly like to thank you for this interview. I will jump right in and I'll ask the big question. Where did your introduction come from with respect to racing pigeons?
Well, technically, I was never a stranger to the sports because my father was a fancier before.
Okay.
So we are second generation. I was a second generation fancier. But when I came interested in the sports, I take that from father-in-law because me and he was close. And when he passed away, it's then and there I take up the mantle to start to race pigeons.
What year was that?
That was in 2016.
So from 2016 to present, so we can look forward to extreme greatness this year, because I know the last season was a bit competitive coming down to the end.
Yeah.
So I know you would definitely put in more work, revise certain things because it was a close finish.
Close finish, yeah.
Right? So, Mr. Randolph, within your era of training racing pigeons to maintain a championship, is there any explanation that you could give with respect to your training regime? Like a brief explanation?
Training pigeons is not really, it's not a secret in training pigeons, right? Mainly the main way how I train pigeons, basically once a day, try to get for training in early and just be consistent with the training. So the pigeons will be aware, multi-timing, I will race 7 o'clock or just before 7.
Oh, okay.
So I try to, so the pigeons will get accustomed with the climate, the timing, everything.
What are some of the qualities that you look for in a champion racing pigeon? So notice you have some birds in the crate. Is there an example that you could show us of what you look for in the birds? Any specific look or attributes that the birds must possess?
I don't know.
Or is it all within your line of pigeons that you have developed?
I think this will be a repeat of champions. I just only deal with the winners. It's not be no special look, shape, nothing, but more like the smaller, medium-sized pigeons, because them tend to fly all wrong. Because most of my pigeons is all wrong pigeons. They fly fast, short races, they go up to the long races and also win. So basically, that's really the type of pigeons.
So I can safely ask, what are some of the challenges you encounter given the fact that you have a job? I know you personally, so I know for a fact that your day starts pretty early. When most of us are in our bed still, you leave home in darkness basically. Yeah. Right? So for somebody like that to still be able to achieve championship status year after year, there is no excuses.
No excuse. Right? You have to eat, sleep, drink pigeons. From the time I go to work, when I back home, I back in the loft, I light in the loft. If I work late, I like to feed them, tend to them all over the night. Once it be.
So within your championship series, if I may put it in that text, what was the most memorable year for you? Like, I know last year was a nail biter because it came down pretty close coming down to the last race. Do you have any more memorable moments, or was that last year that year in particular that was beautiful?
No, I don't need dwell on the positive. The positive. I will say my best year I had most of all my years is great years, I must say. But one of my most memorable year is 2001. Almost everything in my father destroyed.
Wow.
I flying 4 clubs that season, young birds, and take down the 4 clubs.
You want to repeat that?
4 clubs. I fly that season, young birds,
Right.
and take down all 4 clubs in one season.
Wow.
And win the most special band that year. I even get a trophy from Central, which I'm very grateful to Central and the team. A trophy, the most dangerous fancier for 2021. I one of my best trophy.
Wow. So, again, I'll come back to actually win 8 championships in a row. It takes extreme consistency. So that means, the work that you put out, I think your program is properly well developed in such that you don't really need to make much changes year after year. You need to tweak this or go back and make necessary changes or introduce new pigeons into the line, your family line or something.
What I try to do is to try to focus on one aspect of the game every year, to try to focus like the year before I might be lacking or something in this area. I tend to focus to improve that area.
Are there any specific locations in mind that you may be referring to?
No, like for instance, when I now started to raise pigeons, trapping was a thing in Central, main trapping shop.
Okay.
I stayed down on the loft, on the ground, and birds coming up, and they not getting attention to go in. So I developed myself. Me and the bird become one.
Correct.
So I just
stand next to the trap board.
right by my trap board.
Yeah.
And my birds. So in case
when you develop that love and that passion, the pigeons, like I was told once that the birds love to come home. They love coming home to you, the fancier.
Yeah.
So that's a thrill there by itself.
Yeah. When my birds come for a race, it's like I even serve there. There'll be some training.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are there any specific race points that you may want to have a greater success status from in particular? You have tons of achievements here, but are there any specific locations, race points actually, that you want to see yourself having more merit from, or are you just an overall?
Well, generally I is an overall fancier. Well, we going to venture into a south program, is calling it, going out to Guyana side.
To Guyana way.
So that is my focus. Wherever I was in the past, that I'm gone. And I think based on my records, I have wins from all points that we just fly in Trinidad. Wow. So right now my focus is to develop flying down on that Guyana side.
I've been told one or two things in some areas, rain happen to fall in some areas more than others.
Right.
But in this central area that is known, and may I just add to this, to the viewers outside of Trinidad and Tobago, this central area of Trinidad is known as the Little Belgium. So for the fanciers that are outside of Trinidad and Tobago, this guy has dominated the Little Belgium for many years.
Many years.
Till he has stepped out into the larger clubs, right? And the merits on display shows it all. So your focus and role in the development of the sport of Trinidad and Tobago, I'll touch a little bit on that simply because I've gained the knowledge that you have held executive positions more than once at club levels.
Right.
So therefore you would also contribute a lot to structural changes, as well as have a listening ear to the fanciers and try your very best to mitigate the little stuff that needs tweaking, and all in all for the betterment of the sport. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a vice president in URPC for about 3 years. When URPC was at its best in terms of intake of fanciers, and
See, and we know you're a family man. Eh?
Yeah, family
That's
man.
why I asked, how do you manage it all?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's crazy, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
But the love of the sports, the love of the sports.
So, you know, saying that, and you know, we have the world looking on here, right? Do you feel any pressure of being a champion? And a champion of the status as I mentioned before? Do you feel any pressure whatsoever?
I don't feel pressure because I'm self-motivated, but I find champions in Trinidad especially don't get the amount of recognition that they're supposed to get as a champion in the sports.
Well, let's hope that, you know, with the light that we bring in, let's hope that some positive changes will come out of these things.
Yeah.
And how has your community treated you with the success? We know you live in the central vicinity. So how do, seeing that you venture out from your zone club, how the guys, you know, how do the guys react to your success outside of the city?
that is a story by itself. But I mean, if that those who support and always give that encouragement to continue doing it.
And the family, what does the family think of your achievements?
Well,
because remember, this sort of takes away some of your family time, eh? So
it'll be rough.
But the family is overwhelmed and joyful with the sacrifices that you do.
And I'll try to make them put the same energy in whatever they do to achieve their goals by doing my thing.
Yeah, that's a pretty good example.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I'll ask, what does racing pigeons mean to you on a personal level?
Boy, this is my heartbeat. This is my brain cooler. This just take away my stress, because I have a demanding work. I have a demanding family, because my kids and them now into secondary school. So it helped. Yeah, because it's when I come home in the night and I need to cool my head, I go in the loft and sit down and just watch, observe my birds, you know.
Awesome. So, do you have any birds within that crate that are like the foundation to your success?
Yeah.
You mind probably showing us?
This cock bird here. This is a bird from my first team of pigeon, directly from bred by my father-in-law before he passed away.
What was his name? For the viewers.
I call him Shaka, the king.
Wow.
Yeah, the king of the love, because he breed numerous special band winners.
Wow.
The first special band that I ever flew in my life is a son from this bird.
Wow.
The next year, when my son went Port of Spain first special band, Port of Spain 5 years, and the granddaughter win Central first special band on the same year. Yeah, and that same year also, I run second and fourth and ninth in Sanka One Love, Henry Sanka One Love.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Two of his sons.
That One Love has actually been kicking up lately as the years go by. It's like the most trending One Love.
And two of his sons
want to get into.
Two of his sons was on the drop.
Wow.
And one run fourth and one run ninth. And
I might add that the handling at the Henry Sanka One Love is excellent. So it comes down to a trapping game.
It end up coming down to a trapping.
Yeah. So
I run second in also in that same One Love. So second, fourth, ninth, and my last bird came in about 24th.
Okay. So we could see are you competing this year the One Love?
I'm not sure. right now
Just
because the demand for special band birds, and I prefer to fly the special bands.
Special bands.
Yeah, more lucrative.
Well, I mean, with stature as yours,
Yeah.
you can offer some guys to get a year or two to come to be champions, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, what are your future goals coming into a new year 2025? Could you list one of your future goals heading into the club? You know, are there any specific things you want to see happen?
I want to see a little more unity within the clubs. I want to see a little unity in the clubs. If we could have more like togetherness or some combined races at a national level, you know. Basically, because it's not too much division right now in the sports that needs to be tweaked. Okay, that we could deal with it at a better level.
Okay, well that just speaks of unity, love, togetherness, and to me, that goes a very long way. And the motto of the initials on your coat is actually uniting fanciers through sport. So let's hope that nothing but that can be achieved throughout this year 2025.
Yeah, I feel we can achieve it, man. Once we continue like this venture that you doing here, must give you credit for that. And you get through when people see the display.
Yeah, because you know, there are a lot of young individuals who, you know, strangely, young fellas, out of 100 of them, I can guarantee you, there are at least 20 in each generation. Somehow, is always attracted to pigeons.
Yeah.
And I think we need to do a bit more so that venture, as you spoke with the clubs and so forth and the unity. I think young individuals who seeing this level of success that you have on display here right now and you know, these sort of things that you're saying, it will motivate these guys. And I'm saying to them that have no fear because great things are ahead of us in this new year 2025. So as I touch on that point, you know, what advice would you give any young aspiring racing pigeon enthusiast?
Advice? I will tell a young fancier who come into the sports, try to attain good pigeons and work hard at the sports. Do look for the negative in the sports and try to follow the positives and see where the sports could take you.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So, two more things I want to touch on. One is, I may not have asked you, but you mentioned your father-in-law. Was he your sole mentor?
No,
whilst you was developing?
No, my father-in-law and I was
because you mentioned you all had a close relationship.
Yeah, close relation. So when he passed away, I wasn't into pigeons as yet. Because he passed in.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You coming back into pigeons?
Me coming to the pigeon racing.
Yes.
Yeah, racing aspect of the pigeons.
Okay. So, and one other thing. We touched on the youths, right? So, could you see yourself as being a mentor for a young individual within your community?
Yeah.
To teach him the ropes, understand what it takes to be a champion, understand, firstly, handling, knowing the different parts of a pigeon, all these different things. Could you see yourself as being a mentor to a young individual?
Yeah, right now we have, myself and my partner Jeffrey Morris, we have 2 individual fanciers right now underneath the wings. Teaching them how to train pigeons and even giving them the line of birds to fly.
Wow. Right. So Mr. Randolph Jobe, I want to say thank you so much. Right? I know we have some trophies upstairs. So without further ado, we're gonna take a walk upstairs to the loft, right? And we're gonna see some of the achievements there. So we're here with some of the achievements upstairs. This is the the prize races.
Yeah, this is
Some of the prize races within Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. This one is called the
Blackwater.
Blackwater. Some of them fanciers don't put the Blackwater.
Well, this is just a few, because it's what could only fit on your trapboard. Because you know, downstairs on the other loft.
And I'm glad how we displaying the Blackwater, the longer race in Vincent races. This race here is a St. Vincent win from St. Vincent, a Esman King.
Wow.
And I must mention, and these wins and then from a first line of birds back get handed down from a father-in-law, Guy Cannons.
So we must
from his line of birds.
Yeah, that is remarkable.
Yeah, these long distance races,
Awesome.
A true racing pigeon breeder fancier.
So Mr. Randolph Jobe, are there any birds in specific within the corridor you'd like to show?
Some birds that did well for me in the crate down there.
Okay.
Bird like Silver Bullet, she daughter.
Is at the loft downstairs. Okay.
Well, it's in the crate downstairs there.
Okay. Well, we could take a look at them.
Yeah.
So we have here none other than the great Silver Bullet of the Randolph Jobe's loft. Alright. Are there anything in particular of achievements where this bird is concerned that you would love to mention?
This bird is a remarkable bird. When I tell you remarkable, from a young bird, and she wasn't an early bred bird, she was a late bred bird and all. Right? From the carcass straight to Tobago, straight to Grenada, she flew. As a yearling, she was the golden bird in the URBC Pigeon Club. The golden bird. Right, for 2023. And in 2024, which is this year, she lost the golden bird by a point. Mainly
One single point?
By one single point. Mainly because she wasn't a yearling and she didn't get to fly the yearling derby. Yeah. But when she was a yearling now, she fly the yearling derby, everything, and she was the golden bird.
By 1 point.
By 1 point.
That says a whole lot about this loft here.
Yeah. She fly about 6 in Vincent. This bird. She and she half sister.
Amazing.
6, yeah. About 6 in Vincent she fly.
So this bird is a demonstration of your hard work and sacrifice that you put towards your pigeons.
Right, and this is one of the, how to put it, one of my line of birds that you could say that all-rounded pigeon. All-rounded, from short to long. She have numerous Tobago wins under she got. When the yearling race was flying, she was to go and fly in the Champion League. And she win that race without a doubt. The famous Marcus from South challenged me.
I could remember that race. That was a phenomenal. I remember that challenge.
And this is the bird that came home and put his spokes in the wheel.
Wow.
No other than the Silver Bullet.
So to the viewers, the sunlight is a bit against us here, but this pigeon, I tell you, is remarkable.
And she first, and mind you, her first youngster last year for old birds win a Grenada race in Port of Spain field flyers. Black Smoke is she.
Whoa!
She daughter.
Wow.
First youngster she ever bring.
So Mr. Randolph Jobe, there is only so much that can be said, but you are indeed currently the reigning undefeated champion of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, man.
I would just like to thank you for this opportunity. I'd also like to thank you for your contribution to the sport thus far. And may nothing but greatness come your way this year, 2025. And to your brothers and sisters of Trinidad and Tobago Pigeon Fanciers, they are looking up.
Yeah.
We all cheer you on and we hope for nothing but glory for you again. much more greater achievement. So let's see how this season unfolds.
This year, looking forward.
The program is upon us, followed by the young bird, which is pretty much close to thereafter. Right? So
this year, looking forward for the challenges. We have some teething problems within the racing that we can race down on the north. So we're going on the south side this season. So I'm looking forward for that.
So that's as a new adventure to test the birds as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for that.
Awesome.
I feel I have enough ammunition to do great in that zone.
All right, Mr. Randolph Jobe. So thanks very much for this interview. All right, and we'll be looking on.